Sunday meal prep video. I'm glad that you joined me today. We are making chicken fajitas, and then I'm going to do the Mexican meatloaf with the roasted sweet potatoes and roasted vegetables in the oven. So no new meals today. These are meals that we've eaten several times. These are kind of some of our staples, but with the girls moving and stuff this week, I just did like the quickest grocery order I could think of just to kind of get it out of the way. I couldn't really spend any time and do any research on finding any new recipes, so next week I will definitely try to have something new in there for you, but I'm sure this might be new to some of y'all. And if you are new to my channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. I usually upload on Tuesday, Thursday, and on Sunday. So anyway, that's what we've got going on today. Charlie has already prepped all of the fruits and veggies and stuff, which we did film that, so right after this you'll kind of see him doing that prep, and then I'm going to jump in and I'm just probably going to make my fruit bowls real quick and just show you those done. I'm not going to video it since I'm going to have that video of Charlie doing all of the prep work today. Anyway, I know y'all seen me put together the fruit bowls a million times, but then we are going to do the meatloaf and stuff and get it in the oven. Right now it is lunchtime, so we are making ourselves a quick pizza. I'm doing my 4-point pizza for lunch, and we're going to eat, and then I'm going to throw the meatloaf together and then get the sweet potatoes ready, and then the California vegetables is just the frozen bag of vegetables. I'll probably use about half of that bag for today. And that is a 1 oven meal, which makes that one so great. You just put it in at 400 degrees and it all pretty much cooks within an hour, and it's so easy. And then the chicken fajitas, it takes a little bit more time, but Charlie's already sliced up the chicken. It's just in the refrigerator, and then he has all of the bell peppers sliced up and ready to go. You just kind of have to have 3 pots going together on the stove for that one, because I do my cauliflower rice in one, the Spanish cauliflower rice, and then I will do my peppers and cook my chicken separately. Then I'll combine the peppers and the chicken once they are both done and throw it all together. And it's a quick, easy meal prep. And then I'm also going to make my chocolate protein cookies again. Those are just so good, and I missed them that one week that I didn't have them. I ate them within 4 days last week and kind of had to supplement. I have some old enlightened ice cream bars in the freezer, and so I've been trying to eat those up. I mean, they have frostbite on them pretty much whenever I've been getting them out, but I'm down to just 2 or 3. I do like to have those on hand just for a quick, easy 3 or 4 point snack or dessert, and lots of times I'll have one of those on like a Friday night or a Saturday night. But anyway, I think the ones that I've got left are pretty nasty, so I need to make a run to Sprouts, because Sprouts is the only one that has the monkey business ones. I don't know if y'all have ever had those or not, but those are so good, and they're 4 points, but it's like chocolate and peanut butter and vanilla ice cream. It's so worth the 4 points for that. So I do want to make a pit stop into Sprouts one afternoon this week just to see if they have any. And the other one that I like, I think it's chocolate mocha chip or something like that. That one's a 3-point bar. It's really good as well. But I had kind of gotten an overabundance of them, and so for the past few weeks I have not bought any and just been trying to eat up the old ones and really kind of clean that portion of my freezer out. Because I was buying like 2 or 3 boxes here and there, and then before I knew it I had all of these boxes of bars. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get into the video. I'm gonna show you these fruit bowls, and then we will jump into the meatloaf. Okay guys, so Charlie is getting ready to prep my fruit and vegetables for the day while I run and take a quick shower. So I have a cantaloupe and a pineapple, which does not seem very ripe now that I'm looking at it, so I'm a little worried about those. So we'll see how they turn out. The salad spinner's out because he will wash all of these peppers, which, yes, this is a lot of peppers, but 3 of them will be for my breakfast and pizzas and stuff like that, and then we'll just use the other 9 for our fajitas today. And whenever you're making 6 servings, you know, the peppers do cook down, so I just went ahead and got 4 of each color. so that we would have plenty of peppers. They are 0 points. That's another way I like to bulk up my food. And then I have my tomato here that he will slice for my sandwiches. And then the chicken is in the refrigerator. I'm not going to pull that out, or he's not going to pull that out until he gets ready to start slicing that for the fajitas. So that's all of his prep work for the day. Oh, except for the sweet potatoes. Hang on, let me get those. Okay, here are the sweet potatoes, which these are pretty small sweet potatoes, so I'm glad that I went ahead and ordered 5. But we will peel those and just dice those up and put those in a pan and roast those in the oven, along with the Mexican meatloaf and the California blend frozen vegetables. That's a really easy meal to throw together, and it all cooks in the oven together. But anyway, I am going to head to the shower and let him do what he does. I'm going to set the camera up and let him film himself so that y'all can see all of his hard work. And anyway, I will check back in with you as soon as I get ready to start. Okay guys, here are the completed fruit bowls. I have 7 of them and 7 things of yogurt to take all week, and then I will also have one for Saturday and Sunday next weekend. And then these are my freshly diced peppers. They look delicious. So this just makes making my lunch so much easier, because I typically take a sandwich to lunch. The only day that I don't is usually on Fridays, and I will make one of my 4-point pizzas and just take it and warm it up. But anyway, I still will eat the fruit and stuff with the pizza as well. So got half of my lunch prepped for the week. Happy about that. Now let's move on to the Mexican meatloaf. Okay guys, I am ready to start on the Mexican meatloaf. And I know the last time that I made it, I had put the points calculation in incorrectly, because in the app I didn't realize that the Jiffy mix that I was using only said 2 ounces or whatever, and I didn't change it, so I apologize for that. But I have modified the recipe to make it a little bit lower in points, and instead of the Jiffy mix this time, I'm just going to use 8 ounces of the yellow cornmeal hot rise by Martha White, and so that brings it down to 5 points for 2 muffins. So I think that that will work perfectly fine in place of the Jiffy mix. I'm sure the Jiffy mix probably has oil and other things in it that, you know, really up the points, maybe a little bit more fat in it or something. So anyway, for this recipe, I am going to use 1 pound of the lean ground turkey breast. I have 2 eggs here. It calls for 2 egg whites, so if you're on the green plan, you might want to follow what's in the app, because this recipe is in the app. But since I'm on the blue plan, I'm just going to use 2 eggs. It calls for some chopped onion. I don't have any onion, and I never put it in there anyway, so I'm just going to leave that out. It calls for half a teaspoon of chili powder and 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cumin. And then it also calls for a little small can of the diced green chilies. and an 8-ounce can of red enchilada sauce, but this one I think is a 10-ounce can, but it will be fine. I'm gonna just go ahead and use all of that. And yeah, that's it. So we're gonna mix this up real quick and get it in the muffin tins and get the sweet potatoes ready and the frozen vegetables ready, and it's all going in the oven at the same time. Easy peasy. Okay guys, so I have my 2 eggs in here and I put the ground turkey in, and then I'm just gonna go in with some salt and pepper. I hope that it focuses. Sometimes this camera doesn't want to focus when I move. I'm just gonna do some salt and pepper. And I always say just season to your liking. We like things pretty spicy. And then it calls for, what, a 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cumin. I'm just gonna put some in there. I'm not gonna actually measure it. Although this thing is so full it doesn't want to come out. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of the chili powder. So it calls for a can of these green diced chilies. So I'm just gonna put that in. I'm not going to drain it or anything. This mixture is kind of runny. That's one reason I like to put it into the muffin tins, but it does firm up once you bake it. And then you go ahead now and you put in about 1/2 of the can of the enchilada sauce, and then you save the other 1/2, and we will kind of put that on at the end, and just basically we pour it over at the end and let it cook for about 5 more minutes. So I think that's about 1/2. We'll just stop there. And then I'm going to measure out my cornmeal. So I'm going to use my scale and just measure out 8 ounces of the cornmeal and change it to ounces, which I love using a food scale. If y'all aren't using one, it really makes your life so much more simple. 8 ounces seems like a lot, but the Jiffy Mix box was 8.5 ounces, so I just figured 8 ounces of this would be good. Alright, that's 7.95. I'm going to stop there so I don't go over. And then we're just going to stir it up really well and get it into the muffin tins. And I'm going to just spray my muffin tin with some of the Pam baking spray, which this one's almost empty, so I do have another one here. Because these do tend to stick. And I'm going to use my handy dandy ice cream scoop to scoop it out. And I'm just going to eyeball it and try to get it as even as possible. Here are the muffins ready to go. I'm just going to kind of set those over here to the side, and we're going to get the diced potatoes ready. Diced sweet potatoes, sorry. So Charlie's already cubed these up. He hasn't done anything to them except for put them in this pan that's just lined with aluminum foil so that they don't stick. And there's 3 things that you need for that. You're going to need some extra virgin olive oil spray. Oops, you can't see that. You're going to need some extra virgin olive oil spray, and then some cinnamon and some pink Himalayan sea salt. So I've got my cinnamon here, which this is kind of getting low too. I swear I cannot keep spices on hand. And then some pink Himalayan sea salt. So I'm going to just spray them really well. Add a bunch of cinnamon, add a bunch of salt, stir it up, and then spray it again and do the same thing so that they're nicely coated. And these are going to be ready to go in the oven, but real quick we're going to get the California blend vegetables together. We're going to use the California blend frozen vegetables. This is that really large bag from the store. And I'm just going to spray my pan with some olive oil just so it doesn't stick. I'm going to use about half the bag. And then to season these, I'm just going to go in with this Montreal steak seasoning. Y'all, this is delicious, especially if you like things spicy. If you don't like it spicy, then I would just find something else to season it with. But to me, this makes it so good. We can't get enough of it. So I do put a generous amount of the seasoning on here because I want every piece to have some of this on it. I'm not going to put anything else, no additional salt or pepper or anything, just this. There we go. Now I'm ready to put all 3 of these in the oven. Okay, so I have a timer set for 30 minutes. That way I can stir the sweet potatoes and swap anything around. What I'll do sometimes is take those veggies and put on the bottom and then put the muffins and the sweet potatoes in the middle. So we'll see. Okay guys, I'm ready to start on the chicken fajitas. I'm hoping I can get this done while my other meal is in the oven. So for this, you're obviously going to need some chicken. I don't know if this is 4 or 5 chicken breasts. Charlie is the one that sliced those up into kind of small little strips. You could do it in little chunks, however you wanted to. And then, of course, we had, I think, 9 bell peppers that he sliced up for this. And then to add into everything, we're going to use some fajita seasoning, quite a bit of that, some chili powder, some ground cumin, salt and pepper, of course, and then this fajita skillet sauce by Frontera, which this is a really good sauce and it's pretty low in points. I like to add that to the chicken and in with the peppers too. I mix it all together. And then for the cauliflower Spanish rice, I'm going to use 2 bags of this cauliflower medley, and I'm going to use 2 cans of Rotel. I'm going to use 1 can of original and 1 can of fire roasted, and then I will season this up as well with actually all 5 of these: the salt, the pepper, the cumin, the chili powder, and the fajita seasoning. And it is delicious, and you cannot taste the cauliflower at all, I promise. But anyway, I'm going to get my pans out. I'm going to have 3 pans going over here. I'm going to cook the chicken in one. I'm going to put the peppers in one. And I'm going to get the cauliflower fried rice going in one. And then we will combine the chicken and the peppers kind of at the end. Okay guys, I'm ready to start on the chicken fajitas. I'm going to get the peppers in here first because it takes a while for them to soften up. So I'm just going to give this a good spray. And I'm going to put in all of my peppers. And then we are just going to salt and pepper them. And I'm going to put some of the fajita seasoning on them as well. And I do love this Padilla brand of fajita seasonings. I love their seasonings. And then I'm just going to stir that up and put the lid on it so that they can get nice and soft. And get started on the chicken and the cauliflower rice. Okay, for the cauliflower rice, I'm going to go ahead and put that in as well. We're going to just spray the pan pretty good. And I'm going to add both bags of these in, and I do kind of crush them up to where there's not really huge chunks before I put it in. So there's 1 and 2 bags. And then we're going to go ahead and salt and pepper. And I'm going to kind of let this get softened before I add in the Rotel and the cumin and the chili powder and the fajita seasoning. So right now we're just going to salt and pepper and put the lid on this and let it, I guess it would help if I turn that on as well, and let this soften up. Okay, for the chicken fajitas, I'm just going to spray my skillet. I'm going to salt and pepper my chicken while it's in this bowl here, and then I'm going to kind of dump it over and salt and pepper the other side as well. Again, season to your tasting if you like more or less salt, especially. I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes or start to cook, and then we will add in the other seasonings. something over here is cooking away. Sounds like the peppers. I'm gonna give them a stir and probably turn it down. I don't want them to burn. Okay, so I guess y'all just missed everything that I just recorded. I just realized that it was not recording. So I added in the sauce and everything to the chicken, and then combined the chicken and the peppers together. And then I'm just gonna let this sit here and simmer. I can't believe that I just missed all of that. I don't know if y'all saw me adding in the rotel and everything to the cauliflower or not. YouTuber problems. It's so frustrating. But anyway, in case I didn't get it, I'll go ahead and explain. I just added in some ground cumin, chili powder, fajita seasoning, and then the 1 can of original rotel and the 1 can of fire roasted rotel into the cauliflower rice, and I'm just letting this sit here until all of the liquid dissipates, which it still seems like it has a little bit to go. The chicken, I just added the same seasonings onto the chicken, and then added the Frontera skillet seasoning packet, the fajita sauce, and then just combine the peppers in with the chicken. It's pretty much done. I'm just going to kind of turn it down on low and just let it simmer for a little bit, and just wait for the cauliflower to finish, and then this meal will be ready to plate up. And my other meal I think has about 20 minutes left. It has about 14 minutes left in the oven, and then it will be ready to plate up as well. Okay guys, here are the completed chicken fajitas with the cauliflower fried rice. I wish that y'all could smell this and really just taste it through the screen. It is so delicious and so filling. It turned out perfect, I think. I think I got the cauliflower rice a little bit on the spicy side because I added a lot of ground cumin in there because it wouldn't come out, and then I kind of dumped some in. So it's a little on the spicy side, but it'll be okay. And then I like to eat this with my baked Tostitos. I will show you the individual bags, which I do have these linked in my Amazon store. Sometimes they sell out, but then if you just watch it, they will come back. But you can get a case of 72 of these for, I think, $35, something like that. Sometimes you can find them in the grocery store in the regular size bags with the other baked chips, but ever since the pandemic, it seems like it has been difficult to find these, and then I've just started buying them on Amazon, and I prefer the little individual bags. These are 3 points per bag. Since this is a 1 point meal, some nights I may have 1 bag of these, but most nights I will probably have 2 bags, so it will make it a 7 point meal for me. But anyway, if y'all aren't on the baked Tostitos yet, y'all definitely should try those. They're so good. Okay, so I just pulled the sweet potatoes and the roasted vegetables out of the oven, along with the Mexican meatloaf muffins, which I have those over here. And what you do at this point is you take the remainder of your enchilada sauce and you just pour it over the top. I'm hoping I can hold the camera and do this where y'all can see it. And then it's going to go in the oven for basically about 5 more minutes. Okay, there we go. We're going to pop it back in for 5 more minutes. Okay guys, I just got the Mexican meatloaf out of the oven. I have the other veggies back there, but we are going to go ahead and get this plated up, and then I'm just going to let it set and cool in the containers. So each container is going to get 2 of the muffins. I didn't do a very good job on like evenly spacing it out. Some of them are smaller and some of them are bigger, so I'm going to try to put like a big one and a small one together in a container. So for the sweet potatoes, I don't exactly know how many I have in there, but I'm thinking each container can get about 4 ounces. So I am going to use my scale on this one. So I'm just going to start with 4 ounces. Whoops. I always make a mess. So actually I can get 5 ounces in each one. So I'm going to go through and add another ounce to each one of these. All right, here is the completed containers with the Mexican meatloaf, the sweet potatoes, and the roasted veggies. The vegetables, of course, are 0 points. The meatloaf recipe came out to 5 points per serving, and that is for 2 muffins. And then the sweet potatoes ended up being 5 ounces in each container, so I'll just count that as 5 points. So this will be a 10-point dinner. But y'all, it's good. It's spicy. All of it's spicy. I just ate a piece of the vegetables. That Montreal steak seasoning really spices it up and gives it a lot of flavor. Try it. Trust me. It's delicious. Now let's make my chocolate protein cookies. We're almost done for the day. Okay guys, I am ready to make my chocolate peanut butter protein cookies, and I do have one extra ingredient that I'm using this week, and it's not the cat that is laying back there. I am going to get Nico down before I start opening everything up, but he's being a good boy at the moment, so he can stay. You're going to need 1 scoop of the PE Science Select Chocolate Cupcake Protein Powder, 1 scoop of the Matrix Peanut Butter Cookie Protein Powder. Stop, Nico. He's already scratched my hand. I don't know if you can see all those scratches from last week, and they still have not healed. Half a can of the 100% pure pumpkin. I'm going to use probably about 10 grams of the Special Dark Hershey's Cocoa. I'm going to use 1 serving of the Lily's Dark Baking Chips, and my new ingredient is this Lily's butterscotch chips, which these are delicious. I'm going to go ahead and add in 1 serving of these in addition to the other ones just to see what it tastes like. It does make it... It's 1 point for 1 cookie, and then it's 2 points for 2 cookies, but when you scroll up to 3 cookies, it still stays at 2 points, and 3 cookies is typically what I eat. So I've been eating 2 points for the cookies, so I'm going to go ahead and just live life on the edge and add this in, and it's still going to be 2 points for my 3 cookies. But before it was 1 point for 2, but now it's 2 points for 2. So anyway, but I ate 3 and it's still 2 points, so I'm fine with that. And then 5 grams of the sugar-free chocolate fudge jello mix and a large tablespoon of baking powder. I always like to use the Clabber Girl. And then I'm going to use about 100 grams of egg whites or so, just until I get it to the correct consistency. But anyway, let me get this cat down and get the other camera set up, and we will start mixing this up and get them in the oven. Oh, and I need to preheat my oven to 350. Okay guys, we're going in with 1 scoop of the chocolate protein powder and 1 scoop of the peanut butter cookie protein powder. Get my scale. We're going to do 10 grams of the Hershey's Special Dark. And 5 grams of the sugar-free jello. And then a pretty good sized tablespoon of baking powder. And then we're going to mix the dry ingredients really well. And then we'll add in the pumpkin and the egg whites, and then we'll do the chocolate chips last. Okay, that's mixed pretty well. We're going to go ahead and go in with the rest of the pumpkin that's in the can, which should be 210 grams or so. And then we're going to do about 100 grams of egg whites. Maybe just a tiny little splash, not too much more. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to go in with 14 grams of the chocolate Lily's baking chips. I'm going to try to make sure I measure accurately since I'm using 2 different ones. And then we're going to go in with 14 grams of the butterscotch. And y'all, these are delicious. I can eat these straight out of the bag. I mean, my God, they smell so good. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to get my pan and clean up real quick, and then we'll get them in the oven. Okay, we're just going to spray our pan with the Baker's Joy spray. I had 2 out. I thought this one was going to run out, but it's still got some in it. And we're just going to scoop out 12 cookies. And I always start small and then just kind of add to them if I can. they are ready to go in the oven for 9 minutes. Okay guys, here are the cookies fresh out of the oven. They don't really look any different than what they normally do, but I'm excited to try them. You can kind of see where maybe one of those butterscotch chips oozed out right there. But I won't waste it. I'll still eat that. Just FYI. But anyway, they look good. Now they will kind of flatten out like they always do, and then I store them in the refrigerator in a Tupperware container. Okay guys, here is the completed meal prep today. So I have 7 fruit bowls ready to go for the week, along with 7 yogurts lined up back there. And then I have my Mexican meatloaf, roasted vegetables, and roasted sweet potatoes. Those came out to 10 points per meal. 5 points for the meatloaf and 5 points for the potatoes, 0 for the vegetables. And then I have my chicken fajitas with the Spanish cauliflower rice. This is a 1-point meal. I will pair it with the baked Tostitos, and it'll make it a 7-point meal if I eat 2 bags of those. And then I went ahead and have my scrambled eggs ready for all 5 days this week. So 5 containers of the eggs, that's 0 points for the eggs. And then I have 10 strips of bacon so that I can have 2 each day, and that will be 2 points for that. And then I have my chocolate protein cookies, which I jazzed up a little bit this week with the butterscotch chips in addition to the chocolate chips. So I'm excited to see how these taste. I can't wait to try them. I will definitely let you know if that's worth it. It pretty much comes out to the same points for 3 cookies. It's still 2 points, but it does round up. If you eat 2 cookies, it's 2 points instead of 1. I think I explained that whenever I got them out of the oven or whenever I was putting them together. But anyway, I'll have all of that in the description box down below. So I think we have another successful meal prep. Very excited. And guys, I just realized that you will be watching this on Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And I hope that y'all are having a nice, lovely day. It is actually Charlie's birthday today. On Valentine's Day, so we will be probably doing our celebration on Saturday night instead of on Sunday, because I cannot break my routine and my meal prep Sunday and, you know, get ready and try to go out and wait forever to eat somewhere. So we will definitely have celebrated it on the 13th, and then I'm sure he'll have cake or whatever on his actual birthday. But anyway, everybody say happy birthday to Charlie, because he works really hard to help support me and my channel and doing all of the prep work and stuff that he does, and he actually does all of the cleanup as well. So props to him, and happy birthday, Charlie. I love you, and happy Valentine's Day, and happy Valentine's Day to all of y'all as well. Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching my meal prep video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you try these recipes. Let me know down in the comments below if you try any of them. I love to hear from y'all and talk to y'all back and forth in the comments. I did update the Mexican meatloaf recipe this time and used just regular cornmeal instead of the Jiffy mix, which brought that overall serving size points down to 5 points on the blue plan. So that's better than 7 points, I think, is what the other one actually was, even though I had originally calculated it wrong. But like I always say, please, please, please plug everything into your own recipe builder, especially if you use like different brands and stuff. Different things calculate different ways, and I am not perfect, nobody is, so anybody can make a mistake. So please try to double check all of the points. Don't just go by what somebody else shows you. I'm just trying to show you how I like to eat, what I do, and you know, we're all human and we all make mistakes. So anywho, but the points should be correct now on that Mexican meatloaf, and hopefully you love it, and hopefully I like it as much too. I've never tried it with just the cornmeal instead of the Jiffy mix. And then I've updated my cookie recipe, so I'm excited to let y'all know how I like it with the butterscotch chips. Those butterscotch chips, I don't know if I ever should have got a bag of them or not, because they are so good. They smell so sweet. I can just take them out of the bag and eat them. But anyway, I'm going to try not to do that. I'm just going to try to use them in my cookies. But thank you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, please go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. I would love to have you become part of the family, and I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.